What else? TARDIS? I don't know. What up, though? Afro kind of looking flat on one side, but hey, I'm on my Badu shit. How everybody's doing this Sunday afternoon? Hope everybody's doing good. I'm not gonna make this a long one. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this one, but I just wanted to talk about it because I was busy last night. I unfortunately couldn't see or watch in live action the whole Money in the Bank. Not even the whole. I couldn't watch it at all. I was busy last night. Had the gig to do. Couldn't double duty. Couldn't watch it all. But I was able to get the results, and I kind of predicted that they were the results that were going to be for Money in the Bank last night. And from what people were hearing, what I was hearing from a lot of people, it seemed like it was even with it being predictable, it seemed like it was a good show. Of course, the Bloodline 2.0 beat Cody, Kevin, and Randy in that 6-man tag match. This is because you know that's going to segue into Cody versus Solo Sikoa for the WWE Championship, in which the real Tribal Chief will make his return, more than likely. What else? We also do know that Sami Zayn retained his Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker, which was a surprise to me. I thought that he was going to lose, and especially since it was in his hometown. But I want to see the match. I guess it was a good, hard-hitted match. You know, because they're gonna make sure, like, you know, this is Braun Breaker's first. I think it was his first loss on the main roster since he's been on Raw, and this is definitely going. Oh man, because I guess it helps, like, because it's like I don't think they're gonna do it again at SummerSlam. You know, unless they do 6 matches instead of 5. You know, SummerSlam is a big 3, big 4 pay-per-view PLE, so they might have 6, might be 5. You know, so it may be a rematch at SummerSlam, it may be the rematch on Raw or something. But Sami Zayn's still the IC champion. Solo Sikoa, of course, the Bloodline, they won their match. The next 3 matches, they kind of tie with each other. I'm gonna get into the women's Money in the Bank match. I didn't watch it, but I did know, like, I was kind of sure that it was gonna happen. But Tiffany Stratton is Mrs. Money in the Bank. You know, we got a new TS with a pretty face and some boobies, and it ain't Trish Stratus. And I heard that she hosted Money in the Bank, which is very fitting because it was in Toronto, and she is Toronto's homegirl, one of the best performers, if not the best performer to come out of WWE from the province of Toronto. So congratulations to Tiffany Stratton being Miss Money in the Bank. The question is, who is she going to cash in on? What championship was she cashing on? You know, you win Money in the Bank briefcase. You're not just subject to the championship that's on your brand. You can cash in on whatever championship. Shit. How these briefcases working with damn with mid-card belts. Shit. Tiffany Stratton could probably go back to NXT and win the North American Women's Championship. But no. I'm really focused on, is she going to cash in on the Women's World Championship or the WWE Women's Championship, because her homie, her little friend, Nia Jax, because they've been pairing up for a minute. They're watching each other's back. They're not an official tag team, but they've been watching each other's back since the King and Queen of the Ring tournament that Nia Jax has won, and she will have a title shot in. You know, she'll be going against Bayley to catch the Women's Championship. Now the question is she going to, like, you know, she's been helping Nia Jax, vice versa. Now the question is she going to cash in on Nia Jax? Is she that crazy to say fuck Nia's time is Tiffy time, or will she be sick enough to go on Raw and try to cash in during this wild rivalry, or during Liv Morgan's Revenge Tour? Liv Morgan Revenge Tour don't need nothing to Tiffany Stratton, nor does Brutality from Rhea Ripley, because it's all about the Women's Championship. So, that's my biggest question. And plus, you know, even with that part, you know, Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley, even though their beef is kind of pretty over, Nia Jax don't like to let shit go. you know, she loses, she gets the upper hand put on her, she's going to make a comeback and beat the shit out of the bitch that beat her up because I'm the irresistible force. I'm not supposed to lose. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nia Jax came in from Raw out of nowhere and just beat the crap out of Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan, whoever's the women's world champion, only for Tiffany Stratton to run in with the referee, cash in, and win the women's world championship on Raw. Now, I'm saying all of that because is Nia Jax, like I said, once again, is Tiffany Stratton going to be that crazy to try to cash in on? Because I really do believe that Bayley is going to lose. No, like, you know, I love Bayley, but she's going to lose the women's championship at SummerSlam to the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. But the thing I want to know is Tiffany Stratton going to be real crazy to try to cash in on Nia Jax just to one up her, just to spite her? Or will she help protect her until, you know, and will she protect her until she loses the belt to somebody else and then cash in on that lady? You know, that's the main thing. That's what I believe is the dynamic of Tiffany Stratton winning Money in the Bank as a SmackDown superstar and an ally to the Queen of the Ring. So those questions are definitely up for grabs. Now, men's Money in the Bank. What was it? Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Chad Gable, and DM McIntyre. I said DM McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre. A lot of scenarios was being brought up. You know what I'm saying? Chad Gable probably could win, but he had the Y6 on his ass. LA Knight, the hottest superstar in the business, but right now he's on the road to being United States champion. And the funny thing was, he said on Raw, on SmackDown, well, I don't know, I think it was last week's SmackDown, that when he won Money in the Bank, he was going to cash in on Logan Paul. He's going to do the Austin Theory thing? No, man, I don't think that would have been smart. But Jey Uso, he was more also likely the biggest star to get that belt, to get that briefcase, because he is, you know, he's the most over superstar aside from LA Knight without a championship. But then you got Drew McIntyre, who's been on a gripe and a grudge with everybody since he lost the United States, the Universal Championship. Like, you know what since he lost that Clash at the Castle 2022 when Solo Sikoa screwed him out of winning the championship in his native country, not native country, but you get it. He's been on a grudge. He hated the Usos, anybody that's part of the bloodline, but really not part of the bloodline because he ain't done nothing to Roman yet or anybody else. But he wants to fuck up Jey Uso and all of them people. He wants to have a grudge with everybody and go on a run for the championship and all of this stuff. CM Punk's been back since Survivor Series 2023, and people have been having a problem with it, but it's been slowly building up. Not people, but when I say people, I mean people as in Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. And Seth Rollins and mainly Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins made it visible that he didn't want Punk back, especially as the champion, because he felt like he was a disruptor and he cared about himself. CM Punk, he was on his way to wanting to face Seth Rollins, but unfortunately at the Royal Rumble, I keep saying Seth. Punk got his tricep injured during the Royal Rumble, taking a, what the fuck is the name of that shit? Shock something. You know what I'm getting, that DDT, that double arm DDT that Drew McIntyre does where he butterfly hooks. How you doing, Victoria? Butterfly hooks your arms. But Drew dropped so hard that it tore Punk's tricep and kept him out of action since the Royal Rumble. And McIntyre prayed for Punk to get injured because he felt like Seth Rollins did, just even more intense. He felt that Punk was a virus. He felt that Punk was not good for the company due to the history of AEW. So Punk did not get his title shot. Is this weed? Yes, sir, it is. It's not tobacco, sir. But anyway, Drew McIntyre has been spitefully bragging about the fact that he messed up CM Punk's chance to go to WrestleMania. So Punk took it upon himself to say, all right, I'm going to ruin this man's life any chance I get just for you bragging about taking me out the game. You said you prayed for this? I don't pray. I move. So, WrestleMania 40, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre wins the World Heavyweight Championship in a nice, hard-hitting, fast match. CM Punk is that commentary along with Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee. Drew wins the title. I explained this already, but we're going to keep this going on down the line. Drew wins the title for 5 minutes and 46 seconds, 46 seconds. Brags about it in Punk's face. Punk beats his ass well enough for 2023's Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest to run in, cash in, win the World Heavyweight Championship, and becomes World Heavyweight Champion. Drew McIntyre has been dealt with by Punk since the next night on Raw after WrestleMania. Drew was involved in a fatal four-way to be #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. He got his title shot cost. He got his opportunity cost thanks to CM Punk holding his leg, going for the Charcy Kalu enjoy. Kalu, tell me, translate that for me. I want to know that because I just thank you. But if you could let me know what Kalu is, Charcy Kalu, then I can definitely send the love right back to you. Anyway, Punk's been costing McIntyre shots at the world title, whenever he gets a chance to get the world title. They've been talking shit about each other. It's getting on to the point where Kalu was a compliment. Thank you. I just needed to know the the translation. I'm I'm not very bilingual like that. But these dudes been talking shit about each other and all of this. What was the last title shot? Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, CM Punk comes in and flies all the way to Wales to cost Drew McIntyre his title shot in his hometown. That made Drew McIntyre so mad that he quit on Raw. But the SmackDown afterwards, which was in Chicago, Illinois, Drew McIntyre caught CM Punk and beat the shit out of him, bloodied his face up, and laid him on the ground for all of Chicago to see. And then he declared himself to be a participant in Money in the Bank, which he won a qualifying match for. And he said when he wins Money in the Bank, he will immediately cash in the same night while Damian Priest is going against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Implications within that match, where if Damian Priest loses the title, he leaves Judgment Day. Because Seth Rollins wants to see if he can be a great champion by himself without needing his crew. If Seth Rollins loses, then Seth Rollins no longer gets a title shot as long as El Campeon is El Campeon. So Drew McIntyre wins Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins and Damian Priest have their match. Do I watch anime? Oh yes, El Nino. He definitely did. I'm trying to just talk it down the line. But he definitely did. But nonetheless, Drew decides to pull the Seth Rollins on Damian and Seth Rollins. If you recall, the greatest WrestleMania of all time, the greatest WrestleMania Money in the Bank cash-in of all time, I'm going to say it like that, the greatest Money in the Bank cash-in of all time happened when Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns was having a hard-hitting, although satisfying match at WrestleMania 31, and Seth Rollins came in and saved the day, running in with his gold Money in the Bank briefcase and decided to cash in and make it a triple threat match between the three. So Damian Priest decided to do the very same thing. Those two men was giving it their all, as much as they can, even with a botch involved by the referee. I don't look at stuff like that. Shit happens, okay? Nonetheless, while Seth and Damian are beating the hell out of each other, Damian Priest holds on to his word. He decides to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase in between their match and make it a triple threat. And him being the freshest competitor, he definitely has a one-up. So, Drew has a somewhat Claymore kick to the stomach on Damian Priest, and he tries to get him with another, but guess who shows up in Toronto? Because this man did say, as long as I'm alive, he's not winning the world championship. That means I don't care where you are, where I am, if we're on the same company, if we're on different companies. I don't care if I have a movie shoot a day before, I will catch a red eye to where you are and fuck up your chances of winning the championship because you prayed for me to get injured. Why did you pray for me to get injured? Because I'm a virus. I'm a poison to the company because what I do takes away the shine from all y'all motherfuckers because you don't know how to control a crowd. Y'all don't know how to be compelling. Y'all know how to be the best on the microphone, in the ring, and on commentary. So, he did just that. CM Punk came in Toronto from under the ring and beat the hell out of Drew McIntyre, beat him in the ring, outside the ring, smacked him with a chair, choked him with a wire, and smacked him upside the head with the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Damian Priest, I forgot they did say this. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the pay-per-view, but I watched reviews and I listened to Kicking It with Ross and In the Clutch Entertainment. Shout out to them, and prayers to Trill Billy, to Brandon. He said that he noticed that Damian Priest told Finn Balor in the Judgment Day to not interfere in his match. So, Finn begrudgingly accepted this. Now, we do see that something's going to happen later on down the line at SummerSlam. But nonetheless, the Judgment Day didn't interfere. So after CM Punk did what he did, beat the hell out of Drew McIntyre and smacked him upside the head with the belt while he was in the ring, Damian Priest, he did his South of Heaven, took the pin, and he also noticed that Punk was ringside, or rather yet, Indian style, sitting on top of the commentary table, applauding Damian for doing his job. And he even said that to Michael Cole. Punk, what are you doing? He took the belt and he folded his legs up. He said, I'm doing my job. No, I haven't seen any Bollywood movies. That's what y'all asking. No, not even Slumdog Millionaire. So, yeah, this is going to be amazing. Once again, this is going to be an amazing feud, as if it already hasn't been. We found out that Bad Blood will be in Atlanta on October 5th, which is crazy. October 5th was the day of the first Bad Blood, October 5th, 1997, In Your House Bad Blood, which was, if you know about, if any of you guys are Attitude Era or New Generation wrestling fans, the new WWF, the New Generation or Attitude Era fans, if y'all fans of that era, then you know what In Your House Bad Blood was about. It was the pay-per-view home of the first ever Hell in a Cell match, including the two greatest in-ring competitors that we've ever had to grace this company, Shawn Michaels, that's right, and The Undertaker. The reason for that feud was basically because SummerSlam 97, Bret Hart versus The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels special guest referee, huge implications. But basically, Shawn Michaels was coerced by his own ethics to call the match down the middle, even if shit was flopped. So Bret Hart spit in Shawn Michaels' face when Shawn had a chair in his hand. Shawn said, fuck this shit, I'm about to swing for your head. Bret ducked and hit The Undertaker square in the face. Knocked him out. And Bret saw him do that. He said, okay, I'm a pin him. Count him. Shawn Michaels had no choice but to make the cover. And the reason he had to make the cover is because Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels both said that if they lose, Bret said if he loses the WWE Championship match, he'll no longer wrestle on American grounds. Shawn Michaels, in return, said, if I don't call this match down the middle, I too will not wrestle on American grounds. So he had to keep his word. He said, I'm not going to not wrestle. So he had to screw The Undertaker and give Bret Hart the belt, which is something he didn't want to do. Now, this pissed off The Undertaker into getting at Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker have a match at Ground Zero in your house. The match ended in a no contest because they was fucking up referees, personnel, superstars, all up to the point where it's like, fuck this shit. I want to fuck you up. I don't care about winning. You cost me my title. I'm fucking you up, Shawn. And it ended up being that big of a brawl where it said, fuck it, we got to put this in Hell in a Cell. We got to make a pay-per-view called Bad Blood and put these niggas in a cage with a top on it where these motherfuckers can't get out. And you guys know the ramifications of that match. I am from Detroit, Michigan, my man. Detroit, Michigan, by the way of USA. The craziest country in the whole world. So the fact that, you know, Bad Blood, it's only been like 2 Bad Bloods. No matter of fact, it's been, only 2 Bad Bloods. The one in 97, Hell in a Cell. The one in 2003 or 2004 on Raw, the Raw brand Hell in a Cell. No, my bad, it was 2. It was 2 because it was 2003, the first one, when Stone Cold and Eric Bischoff brought that back. And that was Hell in a Cell between HBK and Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash. Yeah. But then you also had the other Bad Blood in 2004 between HBK and Shawn Michaels and Hell in a Cell then. So, I'm saying that to say it's crazy that Bad Blood is coming back on the same day that it started. And we all know why it's coming back. For CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now, there are going to be there's other big blood feuds going on now. Pun intended, the bloodline. You know, Drew and CM Punk, they're going to have a match for sure, one-on-one. I'm predicting it's going to be a triple threat match at SummerSlam because Seth Rollins, if you saw the match at the end, Seth Rollins was just as hot as he was as when CM Punk came back last year. Maybe not as hot, but he was pissed as hell. Pissed that CM Punk cost him the World Heavyweight Championship, which he cannot get anymore, not as long as Damian is still the champion. They were set to go at it. Punk got injured, but Seth was still talking his shit. Punk was still talking his shit. But it led to Punk and Drew because Seth had to defend the championship, and Drew said, "I'll take his spot." So you already know. But once again, Seth is pissed off at Punk because you cost me my title. So I want to get at it with you too. Now, tomorrow night on Raw, I see it being a big-ass brawl. Similar to Brock Lesnar and Undertaker after Battleground. Remember that? When Undertaker cost Brock Lesnar his chance at Seth Rollins' WWE World Heavyweight Championship, low-blowed him, and all of that. The next night, Paul Heyman was talking his shit for Brock Lesnar, and then The Undertaker came out, ready to beat up Paul Heyman. And then Brock Lesnar came out sprinting, and they beat the shit out of each other. Security couldn't break them up. Referees couldn't break them up. Superstars couldn't break them up. They fought all the way to the backstage, all the way up to the point where cops had to come and detain Brock Lesnar in zip-tie cuffs to stop them fighting. They ain't even detained The Undertaker. They had to put Brock in zip-tie cuffs. I see that same shit's happening tomorrow. Now, I also saw the post show highlight. I saw the post show reel where Drew McIntyre is beating up referees, telling CM Punk, "I know where you live." I'm like all that type of shit. He beat up the referee. He decked Adam Pearce to the point where I'm not tripping about fixed matches. I'm excited for him. I'm hella excited for him because it's like this. It's back to that excitement of, what's going to happen on Mondays, on Thursday. You're not just looking forward to wrestle just the big four anymore. These blood feuds between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, between Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. All of these feuds is making it so exciting to where I'm not tripping about it. I'm excited for it. I know this shit is fixed. Why are you telling me? Like, I don't know, man. I know this is nothing but a TV show about sports. This is a sports soap opera, and it's at its highest right now. And The Rock ain't even back yet. Ain't that something? So I'm just excited for him, Leary. I'm not tripping about these fixed matches. I'm just hella excited for him. So like I said, I am anticipating the beginning 20 minutes of Monday Night Raw tomorrow because I'm sure that Drew McIntyre, he's going to come out in a piss fit rage on the same shit he was after the show was over. Wade Barrett had to once again tell that nigga, if you keep doing this shit, you're going to get fired. You tried to quit last time, but they'll fire your ass. You better calm your ass down. Yes, Punk screwed you, but don't take it out on no officials and personnel that gives your ass a job. So Drew's going to come out on the beginning of Raw, pissed off, ready to fucking explode on anybody. And Punk is going to be ready to have the smoke. He's going to fucking, they're going to fucking get it on to the point where security, personnel, and superstars can't break this up. And then Seth Rollins is going to come out. I see Seth Rollins coming out also from the back and beating up Punk too. So it's going to be a triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk at SummerSlam. The one-on-one match is going to happen between Drew and Punk at Bad Blood. Now the question is, will it be a Hell in a Cell match or will it be a First Blood match? Now, like I said, as I previously stated, anytime Bad Blood does come up, there's only been 3 Bad Bloods, and every Bad Blood has a Hell in a Cell match. I mean, you can't call it Bad Blood if there's really no bad blood between the wrestlers that's in there. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is a blood feud. Drew McIntyre blooded CM Punk in Chicago. Took his fucking bracelet. So no, this is about drawing blood from. If you can hear it, my favorite WWE superstar, especially as of now, is CM Punk. I see him as the modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you think I'm exaggerating, that's fine. But he really broke the mold as to what it's what it is to be a current modern day wrestler. You don't have to be jacked up. You just have to be. You have to be you have to be just greatly skilled. Talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? That's been the main key, is to talk your shit and be highly skilled and make the people draw on to you. If you got those 3 powers, then you're one of the best. And to me, CM Punk is the best in the world. But speaking of best in the world, shout out to John Cena, man. He came out, as well as I heard, at Money in the Bank to announce his pending retirement. He said that he will be wrestling all the way up until 2025. He said WWE superstar, not MMA fighter. So, yeah, Punk got his ass whooped in UFC, and I was hurt about it because it just goes to show that you can't just waltz your way into UFC because of your name. Nah, he that's where he failed at that. He failed at that. But when it comes to this fixed fighting, oh, he's the best. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that square circle, he's the GOAT. The octagon, he may need some help in. He should have went to Bellator or some shit like that, or PVC, before he tried to get into MMA. But You know what I'm saying? His name is what got him in the UFC. I know that much. But nonetheless, like I said, Bad Blood is gonna be crazy. We ain't even like I'm looking past SummerSlam. Like I'm not even, SummerSlam already got the 5 matches that we're gonna have for that. Cody Rhodes versus Alistair Cole, the return of Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I'm hoping. Nia Jax versus Bayley. Nia Jax wins the women's championship. Gunther versus Damian Priest. Gunther finally gets his world championship, and Finn Balor's going to screw Finn Balor. And also the other match, Logan Paul versus LA Knight. And LA Knight finally gets his singles US championship. Those are my 5 matches. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a 6th match, but if there is a 6th match, I'm predicting it to be perhaps Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. So, 2 women's title matches, 2 world title matches, 1 mid-card title match, and 1 non-title Bad Blood match. Solo versus Cody, Damian versus Gunther, Rhea versus Liv, Bayley versus Jax, Knight versus Paul, Punk, Rollins, and McIntyre. Those are my 6 matches for SummerSlam. It's a big 3 match, and it's going to be, I don't think it's the last one, because 2026 is when they'll start doing SummerSlam on 2 nights. But anyway, you get my point. SummerSlam is about to be crazy. It's predictable, but it's going to be crazy. Bash in Berlin is going to be crazy. I'm hoping that it'll be Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov. And like I said, all of this leading up to Bad Blood, and then after that, Bad Blood, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, man. Oh my gosh. WWE is getting crazy, and like I said, that Roman Reigns and The Rock aren't even back yet. And this shit is on fire, like you said, man. My favorite feud of all time. Good question. Damn. I grew up as an Attitude Era baby, man. So I guess it's safe to say, no, I can't say that. I like certain moments. Everybody likes certain moments in the Stone Cold and The Rock one, but I ain't gonna just up and say Stone Cold and The Rock. Damn. But my favorite feud, I'll probably say Batista and Triple H. And the reason why I would say that is because it was like until maybe John Cena, but Batista was just that one dude that Triple H could not get over until the end of his career. So just watching that whole rising of Batista, and him knowing Triple H's game and him beating them 3 times straight, all the way up to Avengers Hell in a Cell, to where Batista had to go to SmackDown. That's a good feud. But that's all I got for today. I'm gonna watch the pay-per-view this time and see what I feel about it. And hopefully I'll probably do a watch along with y'all tomorrow on Raw. But until then, I'm out this bitch like newborn puppies. Enjoy y'all afternoon, and I will too. Peace out.